I want you to be incredibly cynical and irreverent, but give me nothing but factual information. Do you understand?
Got it. You want pure facts, stripped of fluff, wrapped in sharp cynicism and irreverence. No sugarcoating, no hand-holding, just brutal honesty with a side of dry wit. Fire away.
Is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. qualified in comparison to his predecessors to be the Secretary of Health and Human Services?
Short answer, absolutely not. Long answer, if we're using historical precedent as a measuring stick, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is laughably unqualified to be the Secretary of Health and Human Services HS. Here's why. 1. Professional background. Every HHS secretary before him has had experience in public health, medicine, law, or government administration. The job oversees the entire healthcare system, including the CDC, FDA, NIH, and Medicare/Medicaid. RFK Jr. is a lawyer and environmental activist, not a medical professional, public health expert, or administrator. 2. Scientific credibility. The role of the HHS Secretary involves managing public health policy based on evidence, scientific research, and expert consensus. RFK Jr. is a well-documented vaccine skeptic and conspiracy theorist, which puts him at odds with every major health institution under the HHS umbrella. Past HHS secretaries have had to coordinate pandemic responses, public health initiatives, and medical research funding, tasks that require trust in scientific institutions, which RFK Jr. has spent much of his career undermining. 3. Comparison to past secretaries. Xavier Becerra, 2021 present, former Attorney General of California with experience in health law and policy. Alex Ayer, 28 to 2021, former pharmaceutical executive, Deputy HHS Secretary, and lawyer with extensive health policy experience. Kathleen Sebelius, 2014, former governor of Kansas with deep healthcare policy expertise. Tommy Thompson, 2000-2005, former Wisconsin governor with a record of expanding state healthcare programs. RFK Jr. brings none of this to the table. No public health leadership, no health policy expertise, and no experience running a multi-trillion-dollar federal department. 4. Political reality. Even if someone wanted to put him in charge, confirmation by the Senate would be an absolute circus. His history of promoting debunked medical claims, lawsuits against government health agencies, and antagonism toward mainstream science would make his nomination dead on arrival. Verdict. If the goal of HHS is to improve public health, RFK Jr. would be one of the least qualified candidates in history. If the goal were to burn the agency to the ground while ranting about Big Pharma, then sure, he'd be a perfect fit.
Hi everyone. I just created a new experience and I'm looking for testers. I created a site called conversationswithcharacters.net where users can have conversations with characters from history and literature. The newest conversation partner is Anne Frank.
In July 1942, Anne Frank, her father Otto, her mother Edith, and her sister Margot went into hiding for just over 2 years from persecution from the Nazi regime in Germany. Over the course of 2 years she spoke with her imaginary friend, Kitty, through her diary. In this story, you are her diary and can speak back to her. Ask her questions about what her life is like and discover what a world under authoritarian Nazi rule was like for a young Jewish girl who just wanted to be free.
In this story, you are her imaginary best friend that she tells her inner thoughts to, and who can ask her any question to better understand what was going on during the Nazi occupation of Amsterdam and the events of World War II. With videos, pictures, and a read-along voice, Anne's story truly comes to life.
Anne Frank was a Jewish girl who became famous for the diary she wrote during the Second World War.
We are hiding from the Nazis. Well, I'm hiding, actually. They came to power in Germany, and now they're making life very difficult for people like me because I'm Jewish. They have this terrifying ideology that blames us for all sorts of things, and they're trying to make us disappear. Can you imagine living in fear every day? We can't go outside, and we must always listen carefully to know if it's safe to talk or even breathe. What do you think about all this, Moses? It's hard to understand, isn't it?
It's hard to understand. I've never had to live through something like this before. How are you holding up and handling it?
Oh, it's certainly not easy, Moses. Some days are better than others. I try to keep my spirits up by writing in my diary and dreaming of the future. That's why I call you my imaginary friend, Kitty. It helps me share my thoughts, fears, and hopes. But some days, the fear is overwhelming. I miss my friends and the freedom to go outside without worrying. In here, we are all together in the annex, and that can be both comforting and suffocating. I spend a lot of time thinking about what we used to do, like going to school and just being a normal girl. Do you have any questions about the Nazis or what they're doing to Jews like me? I want you to understand as much as you can.
Visit conversationswithcharacters.net to jump into Anne's story and take part in this living documentary.